Welcome back to another episode of the Educating the Reckless podcast with your host, Apollo P. And
No Better Nina.
And today's episode is going to be a first for the books because we actually have our very first guest, our very first official guest.
You
They
didn't
can
tell me
see
I was
it.
the first one, man. Damn.
We have Bilal Dawson with us on our Zoom conversation right now, man. Give it up.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for
I
joining
didn't even know I
us.
was the first one, man. You didn't even tell me this.
Yeah, man. You popped our cherry. No homo.
You popped our
cherry. I like that.
Yeah. We've had this podcast for a little over 2 years, and we never really had a guest. Just because.
It's been 2 years.
You guys ever you guys haven't had a guest for 2 years?
Yeah, ask him why.
I was trying to build it up off the strength of our own. So I was I wanted people just to mess with us for us until we start, bringing on someone else.
So what made you finally decide that now today's the day that you need a guest? And also, why is it me? I don't feel like I'm not special, man. Damn.
All right. So I had traveled around the country and I've grown a little bit. And I came back to Ontario you know what? This podcast is good. We just need to expand it and let other people know that how good it is. And by doing that, we got to bring in other people. And
of course.
Having that type of Discord. And why we chose you, I feel like because your personality, you make good content. You have a personality, right? You know some humor.
You're not boring. So
okay. Well, I try my best not to be boring, man.
So that's why we got you on, and thank you.
Yes, we appreciate it.
I'm voted, So
All
what
right.
do you guys usually talk on your podcast? What would you say is usually the reoccurring themes that you guys be talking about?
Everything hip hop. So literally, yeah, it's all kind of hip hop based news. And we pretty much just cover what we think there's a conversation around, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we like to start the podcast off with a round of what we did during the week, because people like that, but people like to know what we do apparently. So Apollo.
No. Since we got the guest, let him go first.
Okay, you go first, Bilal.
What did you do this past week?
Well, with quarantine, life has been a little different. So I actually been filming a music video as of now. So I've been filming a music video.
Technical difficulties is upon us.
Breaking Bad kind of concept. So we spent 2 days filming that. We got a drone. So I've kind of been tapping into my directing bag a little bit. I filmed a nice educated YouTube video on To Catch a Predator, if you guys remember that show. So yes. I did a whole little 15-minute segment just talking about that. Other than that, man, just been trying to get back into working out. They just reopened Good Life, so I've been trying to tap back into my fitness bag, and I'm kind of just trying to get back to where I was before everything hit with Corona. So it's just difficult, Yeah, it's 1 minute you feel like you're back to normal, and then literally a week later you're right back at the bottom, and you're just kind of fighting yourself constantly,
Yeah, exactly. I actually feel like the second week back at the gym was a lot harder than the first for some reason. I think I might have had adrenaline, oh, I'm so excited to be back. And
exactly,
then the second week I'm fuck, this is hard.
You know what? But it's so funny. It's and you also feel if you miss even if you were to work out for a month and you miss 2 days, you all of a sudden start feeling so shit. And it's I'm trying to if I know I'm going to go to the gym, I want to know that I'm going to go for 5 days straight. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be peppering myself throughout the week,
Yeah, I hear you. Also, so you see how we're in stage 3 of everything kind of reopening. So for you personally, what do you feel comfortable, I guess, doing in terms of, you said obviously you go to the gym, getting a haircut. I don't know if you get a pedicure or anything like that. Were you comfortable enough to jump in right away, or was it something you were just let me wait and then?
Damn, I don't know. I feel I hate to say it, but I feel I was ready to go.
I was gonna say, I know you're trying to cover your ass right now.
I really want to cover my ass and say I'm good. I'm a contribution to society, but I genuinely think I definitely was ready to go right away, bro. Yeah, I was kind of stir crazy too, because like I live in a basement apartment, so it's like I have no land. Like
Yeah.
I miss having a backyard. You know what I mean? Like there's no outside time besides me like being outside like in the main streets too. So it's like, yeah, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of one thing I was really skeptical to go to the gym, so I waited on that one because I feel like that's where Corona would be strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everything else I was down to do, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
If I get Corona, like, damn, like it just might be in my cards. You know what I mean?
You sound like Apollo.
It might just be meant to be. I think if I get Corona, God, like, he intended this for me.
I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it.
That's how I look at it. Like I've been saying, if I get it, I got it, man.
But you didn't know that you could pass it on. Apollo was ignorant to the fact that he could pass it on to elderly people or children. That was his problem.
But I don't see nobody. Like, I live alone. Like, who am I gonna pass Corona on to?
I mean, you might be walking down the street and accidentally sneeze by an old lady. Then what?
She had a good life. I don't know. It's tough. I had one lady. I was having a really bad day. This is a fucked up story. I was having a really bad day one time.
Yeah.
During my Corona like experience, and I remember I got out of my car and I was walking like back to my apartment, right? And I didn't have a mask on me. And then this old lady looks at me. She goes, "Can you please give me 6 feet?" And I just remember being in such a bad mood. But I couldn't say anything because she low-key like clocked me because I wasn't wearing a mask or anything. So I literally just looked at her angry and I was just like, ugh. Fuck this shit. So yeah, it's a different world. Different world we live in, man.
Oh man. Yeah. So hold on. I know that before when we first got into lockdown around like March, April, and May, stuff like that, people really thought the summer was over because a lot of things were closing down. Like, you know, we lost C&E. We lost Caravana. We lost the Taste of Danforth, all those other festivals. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were saying summer is dead. So what about yourself? Like, what do you think about coming into the summer? Do you think it was going to be dead like everything else? Or did you discover anything new that you didn't know beforehand while summer came up?
I think, for one, I'm still going through the shit still, you know what I mean? But I feel like I want to start to bring like the positives out on like what like Corona did to us, you know what I'm saying? Besides all the shit. Yeah. But I feel like it really did force you to like have to sit alone with your thoughts and like really think about like, yo, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? Like, what's like, I don't know, like you spend your whole life like working and like doing shit that when you actually have to sit down and do nothing, you start to like reanalyze like the shit you were actually doing in the first place, you know? Yeah. So I feel like most of my summer, I was kind of busy thinking about like, yo, what's the route I want to take as far as like creative ventures? Like, do I want to continue on with Instagram? Do I want to continue on with YouTube? Do I want to do music? Do I want to do clothing? Like, it was really tough to kind of go through that shit. And I can honestly sit here and say that like, yo, I'm still fucking low key going through it. I would love to sit here and be like, yeah, no, like everything's figured out, you know? Yeah. But I kind of take it as a blessing because like no matter what, you're gonna be going through this stage anyway. You know what I mean? So is the summer over? I don't like it. Just I think like you just kind of become stronger for it. Like,
oh, technical difficulties are upon us again.
It was over, but if you're able to like make the most of it, if you're able to like you can create fun without going out to fucking Caravana. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
So
No, go.
Okay, I was gonna say overall. So then, would you say like quarantine like had a positive effect on you, or would you say it was more of like something you really just couldn't wait to get out of?
I think quarantine's a positive thing in the long run.
Okay.
At first, I can honestly, it was like a dip. Like when quarantine first started, I was like, bet I don't have to work. I get free government money. And like for the first 2 months, I was like so happy. Yeah. And then 2 months later, I was sitting there going like, oh my God, dog. I was like, shit, I can't do this shit anymore. And now I finally feel like I'm like, it kind of was like cyclical. You know what I'm saying? Now I finally feel like I'm going back on like the the incline to positivity, you know,
Okay.
and law of affirmation, you know.
Yeah, that's good. So at least it's heading there. It's not like you were stuck in one spot.
I just wanted to point out that I know that during the quarantine, I saw that you were promoting music. You had put out a tape centered around coronavirus and stuff like that.
Quarantunes, dog.
Quarantunes. And so, like, I see, like you had mentioned that you're talking about directing, YouTube, music. I mean, how did you feel more so about putting out your project and seeing how it reacted with people?
You know what? Like, cause like I do skits and shit. Like I've done music before, but like more so on like a funny, like, it's weird because like music's a very like it's a very vulnerable thing to do. Like if you're a shit singer, if you're a shit rapper, like it's hard to put yourself out there. So I feel like most of the time I was doing funny songs and it was okay if it was shit. Because if it was shit, I could look at people and be like, dude, it's just a joke, bro. Like who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to have that transition because I've been wanting to do music for a bit, you know? Like I actually like built a fucking studio.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I built a studio in my place, but like I kind of wanted to have a good transition so that like I could make comedy songs but still make it like a proper production and a proper thing so that if I was to transition to like more serious shit, it wouldn't be out of the blue, you know what I mean? And it kind of gets my comedy audience to translate more into my music, you know? So I feel like there's a lot of the lyrics are funny, but I feel like it's still on its own, like good songs. Like I can genuinely sit here with confidence and say like I committed a month to 7 tracks, and I can honestly say that like those 7 tracks are like proper. They're good.
Yeah.
For someone who's never done music professionally, you know what I mean?
Saying we might have you on Vibe soon. Interesting.
Technical difficulties upon us.
What you said?
I said saying we might have you on Vibe soon. Interesting.
Man, you get that Zaddy freestyle.
Here for it.
Yeah. Oh, so I just wanted to further just hop on what you just said about transitioning your comedic audience into your music. I know I had spoken to Fat Boy SSC a few years ago, and he was doing the same thing. Like his music was always his passion. Even with Bunk or John Gabbana, music it was all his initial passion, but it was just hard to get people to listen to the music. So they went on to do like comedic skits on Instagram to build the following. But I always ask, are the people who are here for the funny, are they here for the music? And they always said like it's kind of really hard to reel those guys in because that's not what they found me off of. Like, do you still have that same fear in terms of like people actually accepting your music when you want to take it like a more serious vibe?
I think if I was of the same level of Fat Boy or Bunk, I think then like that would be a true question. But for someone like me, like not saying that I don't have a large following, I just feel like I'm still not at that level where I'm pigeonholed into one thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I also feel like in my past, while like Instagram shit was going, I still was showing that I was doing serious acting. I showed that I did other things. And I feel like my audience kind of grew to know that that's the type of person I was. So if I was to do music, people wouldn't be surprised because they already knew I was doing fucking clothing and fucking bare other shit. Whereas other people kind of only stuck to one realm and only one thing. So am I afraid of it? It's like, I don't know, man. Like if the music's good, it's good, you know? Like I've listened to Fat Boy SSC. I've listened to John too. And it's like some of the songs are actually decent and some of the songs are actually good. And I feel like regardless of if they're comedic or not, like it can work. And like in today's day and age, you can't become successful in music just by making good music anymore. It's a business now. So it's like if you want to be popping in music, you got to also know the marketing strategies and the things to do to make people get at it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why Lil Yachty has a TikTok account and why fucking Roddy Ricch's song only became popular because of TikTok. Obviously that's not the sole reason, but it had a lot to do with TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So it would be ignorant for me to just leave that side of me behind because it benefits for me as well, you know?
Exactly.